Hey everyone, it's Miss Osterish here. So today we're going to be talking about algebraic expressions. So the main difference between an expression and an equation is an expression does not have an equal sign and an equation does have an equal sign. So everything that we're dealing with today does not have an equal sign on it. There's two important vocabulary words up here. We have terms and like terms. So terms are just part of an algebraic expression. They're kind of like our building blocks of an expression. Our like terms are just a more specific type of term, and those are the terms that have the same variables. Variable means letter, so like x, y, anything like that, and it has to be raised to the same exponent as well. So we're going to put these words to use now. So right here, in example 1, we're going to be identifying terms and like terms. So when we do these types of problems, it's really important that we're looking at the directions. So the word identify here, that really just means name. So we're really just naming things. This is more like a language arts type of thing. We're not really solving anything, we're just naming. So the first step whenever we do this is we just want to first write an expression as a sum. So we don't like subtraction. We're going to get rid of any subtraction and replace it with an addition of the opposite. So it's really just keep, change, change. But if it's already adding, we're going to keep it. We just want everything to be addition. So the 9x, that'll stay the same. Now subtracting 2, we don't like subtracting, so we're going to change this to adding. The opposite of 2 is negative 2. The next part, plus 7, that's still adding. We like that. The last part, minus x, that's subtraction. We don't like that, so we're going to change that to adding of the opposite, which is negative x. So the first step here, all I really did was change our subtraction signs to addition of the opposite. So now that it's all addition, what we're going to do is we're going to write out the terms. So the terms are our building blocks of our expression. So anything that's not a plus sign. So really, when we write out terms, it's the same thing as our sum, but we're going to replace our plus signs with commas because we're listing them off. We're naming them. So it's more like language arts. We're going to write them out as a list by using commas. So like the first part of our expression, that's a 9x. The second part, the second term, is negative 2. So I'm going to separate each part of our expression with a comma. So 9x is a term, negative 2 is a term. Our next term, or our next building block of our expression is 7. And then the last one over here, okay, really we're just taking out that addition sign, putting a comma. The last one is really just negative x. So these are the 4 terms, or the 4 building blocks of our expression. And it's really important that you still have the negative on these. So even if you weren't to write out a sum, you need to know that subtracting means that this is really a negative term. So you have to have those negative signs on your terms there. So now with like terms, these are terms that have the same variable. So they have to have the same letter. So if you look at these 4, only 2 of them have a letter in them. That's 9x and negative x. And they have the same letter, so these are actually like terms. So at school, I have my students actually highlight these in one color. So 9x and negative x are like terms because they both have an x in them. So that is a pair that I can write out as a set of like terms. So like terms are usually in pairs. Sometimes they're like 3, or they can be, you can have 4 of them, but there has to be more than one. So there's more than one term that had an x in it, so this is a set of like terms. Now if I look at the ones that aren't highlighted, the ones I haven't talked about, negative 2 and 7, these have something in common. They both don't have an x on them. They're just numbers. These can also be called constants. So since they both don't have a letter or a variable on them, they're also a set of like terms. So constants can also be their own set of like terms. So since I have different pairs, I'm going to separate them by saying the word and, so that way I know that they're 2 different pairs. So really all I did here is I grouped my pinks together and I grouped my oranges together. And as a reminder, these are all just lists. They're not adding. There's no sort of math really. It's just a list. So now we're going to do the same thing over here. So this problem is a little bit different. We still need to do the first step on making everything a sum. So we're still going to start off with z squared. We still like addition. We can keep the plus 5z. We don't like subtraction. We're going to change that to addition. And then that means that we need to make this the opposite. So this will be negative 3z squared. And then I have plus z at the end, and we still like that. So now when I go to list out my terms, I'm really just taking out the addition signs and replacing them with comma. So it's the 4 parts of this expression. I have z squared. I have 5z. This is negative 3z squared, so make sure you have your negative on that. And then the last one is just z. Now, even though this z doesn't have a number in front of it, we can always say that it has the number 1 in front of it. Okay, so since z times 1 is still just going to be z, there's an invisible number in front of that. Okay, so now that we have our like terms, we can look back at this problem here. And so we need to look for something that has the same variable. All of these have z's in them, but it also has to be raised to the same exponent. So only 2 of these have exponents on them. So they have to have a matching exponent. So both of these have a square sign or a raised to the second power. These are a set of like terms because they have a z and because they have the exponent. So that's going to be one of our pairs here. And there could be an invisible 1 in front of this z squared as well. And then over here, I'm left with 5z and 1z. These both have something in common too. They both have a z on them and no exponent. Same thing with exponents. They kind of have an invisible exponent on them. This is really just raised to the first power, because z times itself only one time is just still z. So even though we don't really write the exponent of 1, we could say that there is technically an exponent there. It's just not seen. So 5z and z are also a pair of like terms. So once again, I just basically combined my 2 pinks in a pair, and I wrote out my 2 oranges in a pair. Okay, so the second part of today's lesson is how to simplify an expression. So simplify, this is a different direction. Simplify really just means to shorten. So we're going to take something that's long and we're going to just make it short. So if you look at this, we have 3/4 y plus 12 minus 1/2 y minus 6. So same thing as before, we're still just going to write it out as a sum. We basically don't like subtraction anymore. So anytime we see subtraction, we want to write the opposite. We want to add the negative, or the opposite here, negative 1/2 y. This is minus 6. We don't like that. We're going to change that to an adding of a negative 6. So I changed both of these subtractions to adding of the opposite. So now everything is being added. So that is the only step that is in common from both of these. Because right now I'm going to take something that's long and we're going to make it short. So if you look at this, we can also pick out our like terms here. So I have 4 different terms here. 2 of them have a variable of y in them. So 3/4 y and negative 1/2 y are both like terms because they have a y that doesn't have an exponent on it. 12 and negative 6 are also a set of like terms because they don't have a variable and they don't have an exponent on them. They're just constants. So this next step, you don't always have to do this. This is kind of an optional step, but it might be helpful for you. So the commutative property says that you can rearrange the order and it would still be the same. So like 1 plus 2 is the same thing as 2 plus 1. It doesn't matter what order I add them in. I'm still going to get 3. So we can rearrange these in a different order, so that way it might be easier to see how to solve this. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to write them in a new order where my pinks are next to each other and my oranges are next to each other. So it just might be easier to read. So I'll have 3/4 y plus -1/2 y plus 12 plus -6. So like I said, this step is kind of optional. It's up to you. It might be helpful to see both of your like terms that you're going to combine directly next to each other. So really all I did was put my pinks next to each other and I put my oranges next to each other. So since we're trying to shorten this and these are both similar, we're basically going to combine the two of them to make it shorter. So what we're going to have to do is we need to combine 3/4 y and -1/2 y. Y, we don't really know what that is, so that's really just going to stay the same because we can't really do anything about the y because we don't know anything about it. Now the number that's being multiplied by the y, we can change that. So we can rewrite this as 3/4 plus -1/2. So we're taking the number that's in front of the y's and we're going to add those together and we're still going to keep the y the same because like I said, we can't change it. We can combine these oranges a little bit easier though. If we're going to make 12 plus -6, we can shorten that down. 12 plus -6 is the same thing as just adding a 6. So I already shortened that down. This part I do need to do a little bit more work here. So if I'm adding two fractions, I have to have that common denominator. The common denominator here is going to be 4. So I'm going to have 3/4 plus -1/2 is going to become -2/4. I'm rewriting the whole thing, still keeping the y, still keeping the add 6. Okay, so now that I have a common denominator, I can just add 3/4 plus -2/4. That's going to get me 1/4. I'm still going to multiply that by the y, and then my adding 6 is still at the end too. And this is going to be our final answer. Okay? So if you look at our final answer, 1 was a constant and 1 had a variable in it. I cannot combine these two together because 1 has a y on it and 1 doesn't. So this is going to be my final answer here. Okay? So good luck on your assignments today. Let me know if you guys have any questions.